Alright, so there's a lot of parts of it that are rotten, but listen to this. There is some solidness, sort of. I know I'm thinking positive here. I got it up off the ground, so at least it can start drying out a tiny bit. I just parked it on, actually, the cornerstones. I mean, these are the corners of that cabin. I think I can get a good 3 feet off of that. All right, well, I dragged it out. I got it this far. Take that baby home. All right, well, this is another one of those crazy ideas I have. This is a sill log off of that old cabin that used to be up in Kentucky on the top of the hill. This is the only log I could salvage. It's very old. It's in pretty rough shape, but you can still see all the hand-hewn marks, which I absolutely love. And you can see some of the peg holes, especially on this side. Like right there. Little peg hole. And right there. Now, it is pretty roached out. When I got it out of the woods, I was hoping to keep it as one solid chunk, but this quarter here actually fell apart. But the first thing I'm going to do is pressure wash it. That'll help me decide what's next. It even has some of the original square nails in there, which I love. Love, love. And even if I can't salvage the entire log, what I might do is, because it's got the 3 sides on it, well, okay, 2 1/4 maybe, use that as the mantle, this being the top of it, and then this could be the front, so you can still see the original hand-hewn marks. Alright, well, I am going to let this sit out here in the sun for, probably a few days at least. Just so I can get a better idea of what it's going to end up looking like. I don't want to spend too much time on it if I'm not able to save it. I'm really trying to save this because it's a piece of the history of that farm. And wherever I can, I want to try and preserve that because it's disappearing. In fact, this is probably the only survivor out there. I do have another short little piece, but this is about it. So if I can incorporate that into that little farmhouse, at least it'll stay local. Because I'm pretty sure the tree was probably harvested from the woods, right where the cabin was. I do plan on spraying it with a fungicide and then also with termite and ant spray, but I'm going to wait for it to completely dry. I didn't see anybody running out when I was spraying, but we'll see once if anybody shows up. Either way, if I am going to save it, I will definitely treat it. But this is what it looks like after it dried. This is the side with the hand-hewn marks, which I would like to be the front. And then this wider part would be the top. So it cleaned up really good. So I'm just going to try and get a little bit of the roughness off because the pressure washer really made it rough. Well, now that I know this front is sanding out good, and this is just with, I think it was an 80 grit. I have to go over it with a lot of different ones yet. So I'm going to tackle the top. Top is really rough, but that's okay. I mean, it's going to be the top of the mantle. Has all of the little square nails in yet, which I'm going to leave in. Definitely part of history. Looks like the top is sanding really good too. And again, this is just with 80, but I'll come back with a couple of different sizes and get it down to 220. All right, so I did a 220 finish on it with the sander. It's really smooth. I am just going to go in with some hand sanding and catch a few little deep spots. But we're making progress. When I first pulled it out of the woods, I was wondering what kind of wood it was because it was super heavy. And I figured it was oak. And now that I'm sanding, I can definitely see, I wasn't sure if it was white or red oak, but it's definitely a red oak. So when I put that clear poly on it, it should really bring out that red oak color. I'd rather cut it too long right now. So I think I'll definitely keep it at 5 feet and can always trim it a little bit later. All right, off to the shop. Now I can work on some air conditioning. Let's get in there. Well, I chiseled out all of the loose stuff that I could get. And so I'm going to go ahead and spray it though. Make sure to get rid of all them and then spray it with fungicide too. This right here is the other log that I pulled out of the woods that was part of the old cabin, and I wanted to do something with it. It still has the original notch here, beautiful little peg hole. So I have the mantle piece finish, which it actually looked like that before. So what I want to do though is I want to put 2 pieces underneath. So I need only about 10 inches, 2 10-inch pieces out of here. Now, it doesn't look the greatest, but it's still super heavy. And it's solid, I know, except for right there. They're solid, you know, from here. And you can see it's still solid. From there down, I really only need 2 10-inch blocks, which I know I can get out of here. And even if I have to shave off, you know, a couple of inches of this to get it nice and smooth, I'm okay with that. I love this though. It still has the square nails in it. I think this one, yeah, this one's loose. So I'm going to use my Sawzall to cut it just in case I hit some of these that are still buried inside that I can't pull out. All right, I got the supports cut, and the log, the mantle needs to be trimmed down to where that tape is, but I'm gonna wait and bring it into the house and leave it sit for a while in case it shrinks, because I've had that happen before. But this is what I was talking about, where I wanted to use those for supports that'll be put in the wall, and they stick out about 2 inches right now, and then they're flush on the back there. So it'll still give a little bit of 3-dimension versus having it underneath the mantle. But I didn't want them sticking out too far. I tried using the flat, there's 2 flat, pretty flat sides to it. use those for the top and the outside, and then the bottom is just gonna, by the time I get it cleaned and sand it, it'll be curved inward. Well, I know you're thinking I'm crazy that I'm gonna try and save this chunk that I wanted to use underneath the mantle. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more roached out than I was thinking. Look at that, still got the nail in it, square nail. Anyway, but I'm gonna start sanding it and see what I can do here. I know it's got a big split in it, but it is pretty darn solid, and this has to weigh easily 10-15 pounds. It's very solid. I used a 40, 80, and then a 120. I'm not going to do a 220 yet. I need to get inside, so I might look at my Dremel or even a wire brush on the drill. I think it is actually going to work. I think. Gets me in trouble sometimes, though.